The rise and fall of Pfekeche, a lesson in betrayal and misdirection. Every generation, stories emerge, stories of faith, betrayal, and the fragile line between devotion and deception. This is one such story. In the heart of the JRM community once stood a young man named Pfekeche, a familiar face in worship gatherings and ministry circles. He joined the church as a youth, zealous, eager, and full of promise. But what began as a journey of spiritual growth would later descend into controversy, leaving behind a tale many now whisper about. Pfekeche's exit from the ministry was far from graceful. It happened during a season when Apostle Chewinga was preaching fiery, soul-searching messages, sermons meant to cleanse the church of hypocrisy and moral compromise. The apostle's call was clear: repent, change, and embrace true holiness. But for some, the truth was too sharp to handle. Among those unsettled by the light was Pfekeche. By profession, he was a haulage truck driver, a demanding job that often keeps one on the road for days. The apostle, in his usual candor, had once advised drivers to consider their health, warning of the dangers of prolonged sitting, back pain, and even possible infertility. But rather than receiving the message with understanding, Pfekeche took it personally. Resentment took root in his heart. Gradually, his once passionate faith turned into quiet rebellion. The man who used to quote sermons with pride began using subtle language to undermine them. His social media posts became a playground for critics, and soon he found companionship among expelled rebels and discontented ex-members. When he finally announced his departure from the ministry, citing personal reasons, few suspected that it was the beginning of something darker. Behind that statement was a heart that had long been plotting its distance. After leaving JRM, Pfekeche reinvented himself as a content creator. Perhaps he wanted to supplement his earnings from truck driving, but instead of using his voice for good, he chose gossip as his gospel. His videos began twisting facts, spreading private details, and mocking the very people who once called him brother. Like moths to a flame, he drew followers, disgruntled former members, failed preachers, and bitter onlookers who found joy in scandal. They cheered him on as he tore through reputations, never caring about truth or decency. But here lies the danger: when you build your platform on lies, you build it on sand. The applause is loud, but short-lived. Those who cheer you now will vanish when consequences arrive. And when the law finally knocks, Pfekeche will stand alone, abandoned by the same crowd that once praised him. This is not a condemnation, but a word of warning. Pfekeche, you are young. Your story doesn't have to end in disgrace. Turn round while there's still time. Use your voice to inspire, not to destroy. Build your legacy on truth, not gossip.